Alright, this isn't exactly going to be like an MST3K or anything. We're just going to do a live reaction to X-Arm Episode 2. Because Episode 1 was just that bad.
We want to see if how many times I scream at the animation for being so bad.
Yeah, okay. Episode 2, Day of Judgment. We're back in 2020 with, yeah,
Black
I remember
lightning.
this part of 2020. This seems about right. Apocalypse Bingo.
And the completely static image with the black lightning over it.
Yeah. The Black Lightning is animated, sort of, as his photo-negative main character, and
We're back
Screamy
in...
Brain!
At least his brain doesn't have a face to go on it.
Yeah. I guess they gave him a camera.
That design isn't... the mech stuff isn't actually that
No.
awful.
Okay, they seem to be cutting it almost to deal with their...
Awful.
Yeah.
But we'll see if it continues like this. Yes.
You know, usually that's used for historical stuff.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they're... but whatever.
It means out-of-place artifact.
Oh, look!
Now we're getting the frozen stupid
God.
face.
I hate that expression, too.
Dude. And he's frozen while she moves.
Oh, God, yeah. Also, that expression is not appropriate for that. I am making a small smile while discussing a suicide bombing.
Wow, that mouth animation is... Oh. Okay.
And he's got glow. Okay, now we're into the intro.
Oh yeah, the intro, the crappy intro.
So that mouth animation was spectacularly desynced. The dead eyes.
Yeah.
God.
Dead, lifeless eyes in an art form, but God, and her mouth on the spinning version.
At least on the robot, you have the excuse that she's a robot.
Yeah. And the exterior textures are just so... Why?
She looks like a fucking doll.
Yeah.
Miss Blondie. She looks like a doll with her tiny little pert smile and her vacant eyes. And a Barbie doll figure.
Yeah.
Why do you have your mouth open? Why do you give them poses with their mouth open? Like, he doesn't look that bad. Mr. Stern expression, half-closed eyes and closed mouth.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a stiff slide, and I think Smash Melee had better fighting than this. What the fuck was wrong with her face?
We'll have to take a better look at it next time.
Yeah, on the left. What the fuck is wrong with her face?
Her eyes are wrong. I don't think you need to convince him of that. Blink! Dear God, blink! My eyes are watering in sympathy. Blink!
Blink, you Barbie bitch! And his webcam stops moving when she talks.
But that's not, at least not that noticeable, cause...
And she stops moving completely when he talks, and she still hasn't blinked!
Is it really that hard to animate blinking? I mean, I know it's not the easiest thing, but it... Okay, that's not... That really isn't the worst, having the still images floating like that.
Yeah, okay. Like, this stuff is... But the flashbacky stuff I kind of accept if it wasn't everything.
Why doesn't she blink? I mean, it's a big city. You probably haven't seen every bit part of it.
And it's like, what, 14 years after he was last conscious?
16.
I couldn't remember if it was 2016 or 2014.
I think it was 2014. At least this drawn out thing.
Okay, you see, cute cop lady can blink.
Why can't Barbie?
Or maybe we can only blink when they're zoomed out.
With eye hackage and that. To be fair, that's a legitimate question.
Yeah, that's a
of
zoom
course,
enhance CSI.
Of course, I'll argue that those lines could have been worse, but they also could have been a lot better in terms of how they followed the natural contour of his body.
Yeah, living bomb. That tattooey laser wasn't even remotely convincing.
No.
Why is girl on the left not moving? And okay, she moved, and he's just spazzing and repeated 2 frames of.
No, I think there's like 3 frames.
Yeah, but still.
I think he has 3 frames and she has 4 frames.
God damn.
And his eyes are so stupid.
Don't show him if you're not going to animate him.
His eyes are. At least her head's
Also,
bobbing.
Now I realize the girl on the left doesn't have a 3D model like the rest. She's 2D.
Also, her mouth was moving, but nothing of the rest of her was moving.
Yeah. Well, because she wasn't a 3D model. She didn't have animation rigging.
I can't
that was littlegirl.jpg.
I can't really tell that as much.
At least that's what I thought I got from it, because she didn't have the same shading as the others.
Stop showing us that.
They spent a whole 3 seconds animating that guy blowing himself up. They need to milk it for all it's worth. You know, if you keep using your cultists as bombs, you're not gonna have cultists for much longer.
I mean, yeah, suicide bombing is not the most effective way to. It's a mega project. I assume the answer is there's a. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That wasn't a stupid question out of him, though.
And she just stopped her lollipop motion when Blondie started walking.
At least she can blink. Blondie not blinking is driving me insane.
Yeah, okay. Oh, she blinked! She did it once. Once.
she blinked again. That was...
Blondie blinked once in there.
No, she blinked twice, I think.
Mm-hmm. Kimblee taking notes.
I mean... Sort of, that's enough technobabble.
Yeah. Because a big stompy robot is a perfect spy.
But if they've been everywhere for a decade, then they might not be... People might be kind of...
I guess we needed to get him involved somehow.
Yeah, but you know, I can believe that
Yeah, and getting the uncontrolled, unimaginable super tech on your side.
Wait, jeans.
I mean, we are told that there's a meat brain in there. You're a future person. You should know.
Genetics aren't genetics aren't exactly secret. And they completely freeze.
And she just slid forward for that.
Now we're back into the bad. God, I hate his face.
Yeah.
It's not like the model itself would theoretically be that bad, but the fact that he always has that wide-eyed, completely stupid expression.
I never thought I'd be missing Ryuzu's way of getting a genetic sample. Ad bumpers. Like,
yeah, I mean
this movie bit.
This isn't too bad.
Yeah, no. If the whole show were this level, it would be merely poor. Also, they couldn't handle animating her mouth right with the lollipop in it.
Yeah. I just wish they all had more than one expression.
Yeah.
That's a useful... have...
Yeah, if steam is coming off your brain, I'm a little worried.
Yeah, you should probably put overclocking systems in him.
Little thermal paste? Maybe a heat sink?
Having it, I think it would be much better to have a temperature gauge.
At least point a fan at him.
Well, it's a temperature gauge rather than him steaming.
Yeah.
Him steaming is the pull all the plugs level if you want your computer to not die.
Yeah, she's also flat.
Oh yeah, I can tell with her.
And thus her mouth moves and nothing else. Now, granted, his jaw just flaps like a... he's a nutcracker.
But hers actually kind of animates.
Yeah, because they had to actually do it because she's 2D and not on whatever lousy rigging system they're using. What's your excuse for being a nutcracker? Captain Nutcracker.
I mean, thankfully, brains don't really have normal pain receptors.
Yeah. And, maybe it's the metal casing outside and the inside is being maintained better. Worried about little JPEG girl. You shouldn't be surprised.
You really should have shot him when you had a clean angle.
Yeah. Now, you have to deal with the entire Derp clan.
Now that wasn't literally the worst action in the world, but it was...
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And Robot Girl vaults in slow-mo. Really unsatisfying gunshots.
Yeah.
Come on, a staple gun makes a kerchunk like that.
And the... Okay, at least she had a second expression.
Yeah. They seem to have put the most effort in on Police Girl.
But really, they should have shot the...
Priest, like, right at the start, as soon as he was ID'd.
So yeah, we saw him. We saw him fairly close to the previous one, so
that makes sense.
But why would he keep to his timer at this point if he
knows he's being hunted down and his terminals are being scooped up?
Of course you don't have this under control.
So is it written in the Book of Rage. God, I couldn't even manage for that with this being the source.
I will say, his voice actor seems acceptably good.
Honestly, the voice actors in general are trying.
Yeah.
But they're...
having more than one expression doesn't make her have appropriate expressions.
No.
It's just at least where there's... Why? Okay, what the hell is that
Why are you riding on the outside of the helicopter?
Why would you do that?
Like it's a winged motorcycle. When it's the same size as a regular chopper.
Actually, I think you could theoretically do that with a helicopter.
Yeah, some helicopters. I know you can do that with an autogyro. I think that might be a difference between an autogyro and a helicopter.
Like, that looks like a light show is being reflected onto him, not like... Especially with how the design's not moving when his mouth is moving.
Indeed. They're also part of Clan JPEG.
Yeah.
You can tell he's not important, unlike the main villain last episode because of that.
The fuck just happened?
He teleported into falling. At least that's all I got out of it.
Sure, whatever.
I don't know, there was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Yeah, he did pretty good for...
Yeah, he coordinated those computer systems nicely.
And, you know, strained his brain pretty hard for being very new at this. I think Barbie Girls is the absolute worst.
Of our majors, yeah. Well, I don't know, Captain Nutcracker.
And Arms Race, having a Sapient X arm is probably a good thing to have on your side if that you're going to be having an arms race. There were some parts that were acceptable, and there were some parts that were bad, and there were only a couple parts that were eye-bleeding.
Yeah. Still, that was...
bad.
That was X-Arm, that was painful.
Yeah.